What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at my 2004 Honda Accord EX V6. Naturally aspirated, old school Honda. White over tan. It's a grandma spec, as I like to call it, because you're invisible in this car, which in my opinion makes it a great daily driver. So you've got 16-inch wheels with 205 60 series tires. You don't see many 16s anymore. I mean, I think even Civics have 17s, 18s now, 20s on the SI. This was a big car when it came out in 2003. And now it's on the lighter weight side. I want to say it's 3,500 pounds. We'll take a look inside. All right, so I'm 6 feet tall. I've got plenty of headroom here. You know, the seat is not back all the way. Seats are comfortable. I really think with these cars, if you're buying one of these cars, you want to get the EX, you want to get the V6, because it holds up better in today's world than the 4-cylinder is going to feel underpowered. And if you're looking for something really fast, this is not the car for you. If you want a daily driver where you're going to blend in and be invisible to the police, this is a great car. I love these old school Honda sunroofs because they hold up, they don't leak, they always work. You can't go wrong with one of those. So you've got a 3-liter V6, 5-speed automatic transmission, power windows, power door locks, stuff like that. There's heated seats. The heated seats work well. Some storage space here for your CDs, for your 6-disc CD changer, which I don't use. Glove box. Check this out. I found this. My parents had this in here. A disposable camera that's unopened. How about that? Got curtain airbags, you know, the front dual airbags, obviously, side airbags, which was a lot for back then. Sunglass holder. We'll take a look in the back. Not bad. I mean, I'm 6 feet, you know, comfortably fit 4 adults in here. You've got an armrest with some more cup holders, dome light, and your power window control. And that's about it. That's about it. Pretty bare bones, especially for today's world. But it's enough. It is enough. Take a look in the trunk and under the hood. So, trunk space was great for its time. Probably only good today since vehicles have gotten so much bigger and everybody has an SUV now. But it's enough. 2 people can go on a big trip easily. You can fit a ton of stuff in here, plenty of stuff. I corrected the paint on this car a few months ago, so it's looking pretty good for an 04 Honda. 3-liter V6 with VTEC, baby. I prefer this over a turbo car, over a hybrid. It's just, I just like the feel of it. Maybe I'm old school, but I'd much rather have one of these than a turbo 4. Like now you can only get the 1.5, and yeah, you get all the modern tech with the new car, but you have to deal with a 1.5 liter. And if you have 4 people in it, and it's CVT transmission, I don't know, it's not for me. Check out the old school Honda key with the buttons on the key. That was pretty high tech 20 years ago. It's kind of funny now, right? All right, here we go. Driving the 04 Accord. My first time doing this with 3 cameras, and we're going to do a POV as well. Backing out of the driveway here. I did drive my buddy's GT3 with 1 camera set up, and it didn't go too well. I didn't prepare for it. That's why I'm doing all this work with the Honda. And get comfortable with this before I start reviewing cars. Car runs smooth. We just had some maintenance done. We just had the timing belt, water pump changed. The tires are relatively new. The brakes flush, oil change, although actually the oil change is coming up again. 240 horsepower. We're gonna get on some back roads here. Oh, we made the light. Beautiful day, very cold this morning, but you gotta love a sunny winter day. So this car is front wheel drive, so it doesn't handle as well as a rear wheel drive car, but you do get the double wishbone suspension front and rear. Honda started doing that early. I want to say before everybody else. Comment below, who was the first automaker to introduce the double wishbone suspension? And this car is an old school 5-speed auto, but it works. You know, it does the job for what it is. This is not the type of car that I would want to modify because it's a four-door family sedan from the early 2000s. But I'm telling you, it's a great car to drive daily. It's reliable, dependable, gets good mileage, cheap to maintain, cheap to insure. I mean, you do have the timing belt versus the timing chain with the Toyota Camry. If you're going to put a lot of miles on one of these, you're probably better off with the Camry because you have the timing chain, and you do get a little better reliability with Toyota. I think we could turn around at the Veterans Home up here. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I can pull in here. Speed bumps. Cameras do affect visibility a little bit, but I mean, it's not terrible. Here we go. So this is the type of car that I probably wouldn't have bought. It just came to me, and I'm thankful for that, obviously. Living in New York City for a decade, in the city, you don't want a car. I mean, you walk everywhere, even if you're a car guy, unless you're really, really rich. I mean, just the cost of everything, and then you don't want to park on the street in New York. That's for sure. You do not want to do that. And what I would do, I would just rent a car, you know, whenever I left the city. Would rent a car. You know, you don't see many of these cars left anymore. Most of them have been abused, clapped out, worn out. So if you can find one in good shape that has a good history, it's a great daily, and it's, I would say, worth the premium if somebody's charging a premium for one of these. A bit over market, you know. They still perform well in today's world. They're affordable cars. They're reliable cars. You know, and this is just a great era because it's not loaded with a bunch of unnecessary tech. It has just enough tech. It has traction control, you know, and really you don't even need that. This car doesn't make a lot of power, and it's front wheel drive. All right, here we go. So there are some squeaks and rattles. It is a 19-year-old car. It has a lot of plastic in the interior, but overall it feels pretty good. It has 74,743 miles. Spent a lot of time in the garage. It was my parents' extra car, and now that they're retired, they didn't need it anymore, so that's why I decided to take over it instead of buying something new. So I got this for the daily, and then the Z is my fun car for now. Pickup's good. It's not great, but it's definitely good, especially compared to the 4-cylinder, the K-Series at the time. like that it's NA. You don't have to wait for a turbo to kick in or any hybrid. Mileage is around 30. Mileage isn't half bad considering. I don't know if you can hear those rattles. I mean, there's a squeak or a rattle or two, but it's a 19-year-old car, you know. But the great thing about a car like this is that it's reliable, it's dependable. If you could find one in good shape, it's just going to cost you next to nothing to run. And I think for a daily, you want something that's clean. You don't want a beater. You want something that you get in, that you feel good about, that's clean, that has decent pickup, that performs well, that starts every time. It's hard to beat that. And it's fun to have a car where you disappear. You disappear on the road. You don't stand out to the cops or other people. Other people aren't following you around like they would in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Definitely getting used to wearing this thing on my head. It's different, that's for sure. Got to be a little more careful. You can see. Sounds decent, you know. It's a fun car, considering. Handles decent. You've got the double wishbone suspension. It is front-wheel drive, so that's a drawback, in my opinion. For fun, it's just, you know, they're just not as fun. Braking is adequate. You've got four-wheel disc, but they're small discs. They're like 11.5 inch, 11.7 inch rotors because it's like a 16-inch wheel, so you can only fit so big of a rotor under there. What would you rather have? An older Accord like this, or would you rather have a Camry for daily? With the Camry, you are going to get better reliability. You're not going to have the timing belt. I believe you have a timing chain with the V6 Camry, so you have that. If you're doing a lot of driving, 20,000 miles a year, then I would go with the Camry. If you're doing less driving, 10, 15,000 miles a year, then you can't go wrong with one of these. I am getting used to this thing. It does impact your vision a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but anyway, guys, stay tuned. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. I'm going to be doing more of this. I'm going to be reviewing family cars, friend cars. I'm going to go to dealerships and drive cars. We're going to rent cars on Turo. We're going to do some ride-alongs with some friends that have some amazing sports cars and exotic cars. But thanks for watching. I'm trying to really refine my craft here, my technique of doing this. I'm self-taught, so I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. We'll see you guys next time.